There are 3 new gun laws going into effect this week, and so here to break down the new rules is Fresno County Sheriff Margaret Mims. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Great to see you as always.
Yeah.
Bright and early here, and let's talk about it. 3 of these laws will impact gun owners. Let's go for the first one here. This is Senate Bill 199, which will expand existing law to require realistic-looking airsoft guns to have some special features. What's the idea behind this, and what do you think about it?
Well, the idea behind it is to differentiate toy guns from real guns. Unfortunately, if you have kids involved or criminals, they want those guns to look as real as possible, many times because they think they're not going to get in as bad of trouble if they have a toy gun rather than a real gun. The unfortunate part is law enforcement officials have a split second to make a decision. And even though that they may be a toy gun, many of them look very, very real. And this only applies to new toy guns being made, not old toy guns.
So there will be plenty of those out there still.
There are going to be a lot of them out there still.
So normally they might have to have that bright orange tab at the end of the what would you call it, the barrel, but those can easily be taken off or colored or
a suspect can put one on a real gun and try to fool law enforcement. And so law enforcement, again, they're tasked with a very, very difficult decision in very little time. So.
And I imagine you've gone over this many times in your career of these situations happening. Is there a way around this?
Well, the way around it is for parents, first of all, to tell their young people that they should not be playing with guns as if they were real and going out in public. And that, unfortunately, that's what happened. That drove this particular law.
Okay. All right. Moving along to another one that involves family members and restrictions when it comes to purchasing guns. What do you think about that one?
Well, this restraining order allows law enforcement to go in and seize a person's gun if a family member alleges that they have some kind of mental illness. And it can be a very slippery slope. For example, if there's custody disputes, parents will use kids to get back at each other. If there's a family dispute, are they going to use this restraining order to get back at a family member and seize weapons? So we have to proceed very carefully. We currently have a meeting with our courts to decide how these restraining orders are going to be issued.
Okay, another law going into effect involves guns on campus, and we hear so much about this lately. We had the recent UC Merced stabbing attack here in the Valley, and there was a situation there where one of the people involved who was stabbed said he wished that he had had a gun on that campus. What does this law do as far as that's concerned?
This law adds college campuses to prohibiting CCW holders from carrying the weapons on campus. And in your particular case that you just stated, if there's an incident, many people will wish they could legally carry a handgun. There's an assumption out there that when we create more laws, that the bad guys are going to obey those laws, and they're not. And that's the problem with any new gun legislation. What this is doing is you're restricting law-abiding citizens from some Second Amendment rights. And the only people that are going to pay attention to this new law are law-abiding citizens, not people intending to commit criminal activity.
Now, Sheriff Mims, we know that your stance is that there should be more guns in the hands of responsible gun owners. What would be the reason to keep guns out of the hands of somebody who has a permit off of school campuses? You would think that you would want that protection.
Well, you would think that, and I believe the thinking is that if they're not on campus, they're not available to students. However, we have minimal issues with CCW holders. In my 10 years now as sheriff of Fresno County, just a handful of issues with CCW holders. And so they're most part, they're going to be responsible and not allow the weapons to get into the wrong hands.
And is it the sheriff who actually gives out those permits?
Sheriffs or the cities in which you live. Okay. So if you live in a city in Fresno County, you can go to that city. Most city police chiefs have deferred to the sheriff's office for that. Or anywhere in the county, even if you live in an incorporated city, you can come to the sheriff's office and get the application. It can be downloaded from our website, which is www.fresnosheriff.org.
So the takeaway here this morning for gun owners is going to be what?
Well, anytime we have new gun laws, gun sales go up and the requests for CCWs go up. So I suspect the same thing is going to happen as a result of this new legislation.
All right. Sheriff Mims, thanks so much for guiding us along through the process here this morning.
You bet.